us, I guess, as we follow it here. And on the T side, Fnatic will be starting, and so far not really looking to press anything. And similarly for Mousesports, they're not really playing a retake setup. It's actually a fairly classic setup here from them. And it's quite cool to see that both teams are being quite tentative in this situation, sort of seeing if, wanting to see if the other team's going to throw something aggressive or quirky at them before making or showing their cards perhaps. And you see Fnatic starting to edge their way towards top banana. And there's only 2 players on the site there for Mousesports, but they could play this very defensively if they want, just hold on to construction and then wait for their teammates for the retake. That is a possibility.
Indeed it is, but Mousesports have 3 people in this bomb site, so they have a somewhat of an idea. Here comes the flash, and here comes a rush.
Karrigan will go down somewhat immediately. Bomb will be planted first, oranges, and Mousesports are looking to try to get a recovery into this one. They do have construction, and that position is from players that can do dangerous stuff. And oh my goodness, I've always been such a fan of this roster, even when they were struggling for like 8 months straight. It's hard not to be. So many excellent storylines and sort of like comeback storylines almost with Mousesports, but Fnatic will be looking to play out their anti-force spy here, and on Inferno, I would say it's perhaps one of the best maps for the force spy on the CT side. Golden will be able to deal with Chris J, so that top banana control will fall into the hands of Fnatic.
Yeah, Brolin and JW look to be posturing towards some kind of bracket control here. They'll be met by Frozen and Rops. We'll see how Fnatic is able to deal with them. Frozen's holding a tight angle at Boiler Room right now. Will he be flashed off the angle? Usually this is flashed off if there's an Opper, but doesn't look like that'll be the case. Good nade though from him, does some chip damage to Brawlin, but at the same time Fnatic do acquire that bracket space. And Mousesports, they only have 4 remaining players, but 3 of them are at this A bomb site. Karrigan playing the Moto position, and it looks to be an R trap based off of the smokes that Fnatic have thrown right now, unless they throw a wrench into this. Karrigan will be challenged at this position. Can he come up with anything? No, he cannot. But JW does find a team kill, which will help out Mousesports a little bit. The smoke is down towards Moto, and Frozen in the bomb site right now is trying to hold that smoke, but jumping all over the place.
Side. So it's good to see that Mousesports will have a lot of options in that following round to lock things down. The SMGs work really well also, so I would expect to see quite a few of those.
I kind of forgot, like, when you asked me about who would be, you know, kind of better online or have that online mentality, and I forgot that Mousesports is pretty much Team FPL. They all came from the online. They were born in it. They were molded by it.
That's a good point. And well, it's like, it looks like this full save is going rather well. Rockstar does have a CZ and armor. He's really putting it to good use.
I just looked towards you for a second, and then all of them are dead.
Yeah, this is a bit of an oopsie, I think, from a Fnatic right now. Everything was going perfectly. What the hell happened?
Just a giant bracket swing coming out from Mousesports there at a timing that Fnatic was not ready for. I don't even know if they used a flashbang. I think it might have just been completely dry, no tip off. And it's just flushing the
sake. The flush is able to at least get a couple kills to deny those weapons, but huge economic swing off the back of that round. And that's very upsetting if you're Fnatic. We'll see if they can mount a recovery here. They do force buy into this round, but as we can see, despite the fact that they have the armor and some utility, their weaponry is really suffering. Lacking some firepower here.
Yeah, it's not too great for them. They have a handful of smokes, so they can take some control later in this round, but the early fights would probably not go their way, and they know that. So they're holding off a little bit, letting Mousesports get comfortable in some of their positions, but Mousesports is playing very far back right now. 2 players on the B side, and the A players don't even have any control towards brackets, so I'm not sure if Fnatic will recognize how much space they're actually being allotted right now.
So they do manage to get top middle, and you can see there they sort of represent pressure or presence there with that flashbang. You know, the other team, you know, cannot see because the smoke is down. So as far as Mousesports are concerned, they don't know how many players are at top mid right now. It could be a lot, could be very little. We can see that Golden is just lurking this position, just keeping that presence alive. That if he could get a pick, that would really hold the rotation at bay as the main push comes into B. And Carrigan's there with the spray from the fountain. That's excellent work from him. That might just do it. There's only 2 players left now. We will have Golden rejoining the push, but the rotation's in, and it's not looking like there's too much to do here for Flush Up.
Oh, Kerrigan, great hold from him. Just Golden, 1v4. Doesn't look too likely. He's able to pick up at least 1 kill.
He got to show that he can be an absolute god at that level of play, which is awesome because obviously the Renegades guys were struggling for so long. So it was very rewarding to see that he got at least something to show the world that he is actually able to perform at that level. And either way, you know, back with a focus on to Mousesports and Fnatic, it's pretty rough that Fnatic lost that round in the way that they did, in the fashion that they did, because this is such a different. This would be such a different game otherwise. But now, you know, instead of Fnatic having likely still, you know, economy control and being able to condition their opponent and all sorts of things that they would have had available to them, now they're just kind of on the receiving end of a beating by Mousesports. They can't even do very much here, especially with no utility. I don't know how you can play on the T side of Inferno with no utility at all, and it's very difficult.
Yeah, there's just too many angles for them to work with. We'll see if Flusha can isolate some of those here. Does not look like he'll have too much success. Mousesports, another anti-eco, doing a great job just cleaning up these players. Chris J wants to get involved, given that he has an MP7, farm a little bit more cash. Probably wouldn't mind even losing it so that he can upgrade to an M4 into the upcoming round. We'll see how he plays around this smoke here. I think Kerrigan is giving him a little bit of space to work with. And Chris J's up close and personal. He doesn't want to overextend to lose his life for free at this point, but
a lot, like actually picked it, and not just picked it up or used it for a troll round or something. He actually picks it up and uses it in gun rounds sometimes, like we're going to see here.
Yeah, it looks like banana control will be the focus of both of these teams right now. But JW just sitting there in the middle pit. And at this point, Fnatic, they've actually acquired full banana control. I'm interested to see how Mousesports deal with this because it's so early in the round, and Mousesports know that they have this position. Golden will throw a lurk smoke onto the site, which will cause Mousesports to expend a little bit of utility to try to stop any sort of play coming in this early. But neither team too interested in the prospect of a fight this early in the round.
Mousesports very tentative. They have top mid still, and they know that the top mid take is coming as part of the default after that banana control. And that flash is great, but they don't check for Rops. He gets one that could have been significantly more damaging. Woxic picks off one as well, but the trades are good here from Fnatic. They've created opportunity towards this A-bomb site. Rotation is now coming from that B-bomb site. Just one player at the very least. And there's plenty of time on the clock here for Fnatic too, and they're not really able to have any presence towards Banana right now, so they are somewhat committed into this A side. And that rotation has taken position now within Carrigan, in Moto. Frozen here, as we can see, tight in pits. It's going to be quite difficult, but Frozen's able to take down Flush with ease. He makes that look so good.
Yeah, it's still 2 players from Fnatic, though, and they have 20 seconds. They have to approach this bomb site at this point. Kerrigan here in the site will be able to find Crims. Actually, it will be Frozen who actually ends his life. JW, 10 seconds left, has to make it all work by himself, but
he ground at the right timings. But never mind, we will move forwards now as Fnatic do have a 4x still, challenging for some banana control, but Mousesports aren't willing to invest too much towards banana just yet in terms of utility. They're trying to react to how much Fnatic's throwing, and they're trying to throw a minimum so they can keep that advantage. But Frozen's going to find an angle as Crims goes deep in B apartments. Good response from Fnatic. And now there's the panic button is being pressed for Woxic as he tries to hold these teams at bay.
Yeah, Fnatic are pushed off though because of that Molotov from Woxic. And where will they decide to make their hit? It looks like it'll actually end up at A, given that the bomb is still in the apartments at this point. But it looks like Fnatic want to throw some kind of fake towards B. Golden has made his way towards Banana, and I think the rest of Fnatic are probably lying in wait for him to try to give some information. Woxic, though, pushing up Porch, is able to find an elbow. Not able to find the kill, but a very strong tag. And there's still a great setup from Mousesports here at Apartments. I can't imagine that Fnatic or that Mouse will expect this. But Frozen is in a great position regardless at the haystack. Finds one. The last two Fnatic players have to come out right now. But Frozen, we'll see who is able to conjure up a stronger play or game plan here to try to close out these last 5 rounds of the half. Very important rounds at that. If this just goes Mousesports' way entirely, they're sure to run away with this game and likely the series.
Like trying to challenge Banana more, I suppose, more intensely at this point. Karrigan is going to be challenged here, trying to play an angle behind the sandbags, but Flusher will have the better of him. And there we go, Fnatic have that control out top. Banana, my goodness.
In their demos, Flusher loves to take B, loves to take the car area, sometimes the lurk, sometimes the, do whatever he needs to do. Something that could maybe give Mousesports a little edge over them.
Yeah, see, there is a spot on First Oranges where you can throw all of the retake Banana utility. So I'm curious if we would see something like that. Rops is aggressive in apps. Oh my god, that's a free one for him. That's a good start for Mousesports. So they may not have to work that hard to close this one down at this point now. It almost feels like a desperation push into the B-bomb side to try to find a pick here, and it's not going to work out as Christian is able to deal with that and send that push back just for a moment. And there's so much here to work with for the CTs. Mousesports just jiggling, and it's just impossible for Golden to find a frag. And they haven't even seen that there's a third player here all along as well. This is hopeless for Fnatic. And now JW is kind of left in this position with an AWP, just wondering what do I even do from this spot? This is pretty impossible.
He was able to win a clutch earlier, but the numbers weren't this lopsided. He's going up bracket right now.
Mousesports a more passive spot, and it'll open up the map just a little bit more.
I think he had a smoke, which is curious to me because I figured he was going to throw that front library smoke at some point, but he just goes for a dry swing and it doesn't work out for him. Fnatic, though, already taken Banana control within the first 15 seconds of this round. This is impressive as it may cause a rotation to come out of Mousesports here. And perhaps Fnatic will be able to manipulate this defense a little bit. Woxic, though, going for the dry peek towards middle, will be able to take down the opposing Opper in JW. Although this round, JW is just working with a deagle. And Woxic knows he should fall off the angle, but man, Woxic being Woxic, he'll just hold the line regardless. Golden, he experienced a similar fate in the previous round, just pushing on forward dry, and he'll meet the same fate this time around as well.
I like how Woxic has 7 HP and he's re-peeking. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to see. I like it too because he's like, I don't want to give up this position. Most opens would be like, I'll fall back another position, go back to the little statue behind the little water fountain thing. What do you guys call that, by the way? I never...
In Arch? That thing that he's looking at right now?
Yes, that thing right there.
I think it's
like a little water fountain thing.
I don't know if it has little... I don't know.
Just say easy.
Who's there?
Who's there? We're there. We're talking about coffee, burnt coffee. But anyway,
it was a cool intro. Who's there?
We'll get back into the game now as we have Fnatic tailing the Mousesports team as they started to find a lot of comfort at the end of the first half. Into the pistol already, it is actually Fnatic to get the first pick. So looking kind of good here. JW's got a really good position here, able to see from second mid all the way towards the bench, and that gives him a good indication as to how to call for his teammates. The rotation is coming towards B for Fnatic, but they're out of position ultimately, and Mousesports will guarantee that bomb money.
Just one flash on the side of Fnatic for this retake. Not the usual utility you would see from them here. And Mousesports know that they have to take a little bit more control. They're a man down, so we'll be fighting towards his construction position. Karrigan is up to bat, and he's unable to find it.
Yeah, that he just flew under the radar there. And again, it's like hard to know what the reason for that was, but that's not good. But for now, that's like the last thing you want to have happen given the scoreline. They are on a force buy, which again, it's always worth mentioning that I think this is perhaps the best half for a CT force buy of all the maps. It's lots of options, but at the same time, we can see that Mousesports will start things off with the opening pick.
I'm a big fan on force buys on this map as CT is having smokes.
Yeah.
Because it's so powerful just to slow down the choke points, make T's come through the smokes, or you're going to wait. And so that kind of, they can buy a lot of time for the CT.
Crims left in the cubby here, so the bait set up, and will it work? Crims has to choose the right moments, and he may have... Well, at least he's going to recover the scout, realizes the fast rotation from the T side towards Banana, and it shouldn't be the case that Fnatic can have a defense here. There's so much just brute force coming now for them. They're likely going to win another round straight afterwards against an eco, and they're going to be on 15. So Fnatic basically have to win this round. It's non-negotiable.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake on Fnatic's part. About a second here. Some aggressive off plays from Flusha and JW actually. But I think the key mistake of that last round is Fnatic has a 2-man advantage, and the entire team is still spamming smoke. You know what I mean? Like, no one's watching from the come-out smoke. They're spamming the smoke. And as soon as they have to reload, they have to hide. And that's when Mousesports made their attack and got pretty much 3 easy kills in the bomb side instead of Fnatic holding like a nice crossfire kind of setup.
I think they just, I can't imagine that they expected that full flood through the smoke. It was,
But they're all spamming, so like, I'm sure Mousesports was like, wait, they're all just spamming here. They have to reload.
Yeah, that was interesting. And Fnatic putting an emphasis on B early in this round with 3 players. Finally, they'll rotate one on back. But still, Mousesports were able to acquire this space, and man, it looks like we might just see a repeat of the previous round. Golden and Flusha do have a couple of smokes. The difference this time around is that they at least have a flashbang. That can really help with a strong defense on the site. But the exec comes out. It's just Golden isolated on the bomb site at first oranges. He's able to find one. Can he find more? It does not look like that'll be the case. There is the flash from Flusha, but it isn't able to accomplish anything given he has no teammates to work off of it. 4v4 situation, and there's still some decent utility on the side of Mousesports. There goes that final smoke, which refreshes CT out, and it will buy Mousesports a lot of time to find some positioning.
And we do have a single molly on Pohľad for Fnatic, so there definitely are options, but that's a strong duel for Chris J to win. The molly does in fact go to quad, but not before the position is abandoned by Chris J, so it doesn't look like there's many options here now for Fnatic. We'll have the smoke force down to allow them to escape and keep their weapons, but this is, well, okay, so this is not the